You are about to enter a place where we will investigate how supernatural involvement is the only explanation for certain natural occurrences. The only logical reason for these phenomena is the God of the Bible. You are about to enter the world of the unexplainables.
The Pew Research Center has just released a new survey entitled, "Most Americans Believe in Intelligent Life Beyond Earth. Few see UFOs as a major national security threat," June 30th, 2021. This poll claims that 65% of Americans believe in UFOs. This view is especially pronounced among younger Americans. About 76% of adults under the age of 30 say intelligent life exists on other planets, versus 57% of those 50 and older. The sudden rise of this belief may be because of a recent leaked government document concerning UFOs. Could UFOs be a fulfillment of end-time prophecy? The answer may surprise you. In this video, we want to investigate the possible origins and purpose of these UFOs. We will examine 3 possibilities surrounding the origins of this UFO phenomenon. 1. Is this some kind of secret government project from Russia, China, or even America? 2. Are these creatures coming from a distant planet? Are they really aliens? And 3. Are these manifestations making appearances from the supernatural realm? Let us explore these 3 theories behind this UFO phenomenon. The first theory we will examine will be, is there advanced technology that governments may have beyond our natural capabilities? Does Russia or China or any other government have such sophisticated technology that baffles our military? Are UFOs advanced secret government programs? This theory has been floated around for years. Are you familiar with the term Foo Fighters? No, I'm not talking about the rock group. I'm talking about strange sightings of red and orange lights that were following Allied planes during World War II. These lights were seen by the 415th Night Fighter Squadron while on missions over France. These flying objects were thought to be advanced weapons of the Nazis. No evidence has ever been found to support that theory. Today, we consider them to be UFOs. Surely, if the Nazis had a secret weapon in the 40s, we would know its technology by now and be using it ourselves. Were these UFOs a secret weapon, or were they the result of a belief in the supernatural that Hitler and his top brass were experimenting with? We will examine this theory later in this program, but let's take a look at the headlines today. UFOs are about to make their way to the U.S. Senate. Here's what to know. NBC News. Marco Rubio urges U.S. to take UFOs seriously ahead of government report. The Guardian. Upcoming UFO report to Congress, creating lots of buzz. ABC News. How about this one? Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist, and Trump knows about it. The Jerusalem Post. According to this report, this former security chief from Israel, Hayam Eshad, claims that these aliens have already made contact. They are a group of space aliens called the Galactic Federation. NASA denies making contact, and the Pentagon, when contacted by NBC, they simply say they have no comment. So, how are these aliens contacting Earthlings? The answer will be examined later in this program. Politicians are no longer laughing at those who believe in UFOs. Now they are looking at these reports as a national security concern. In a Washington Post article in 1975, former President Jimmy Carter said, "I don't laugh at people anymore when they say they've seen UFOs. I've seen one myself." During the presidential campaign in 1976, then Democratic challenger Jimmy Carter was forthcoming about his belief that he had seen a UFO. He describes waiting outside for a Lions Club meeting in Leary, Georgia, which was to begin at about 7:30. when he spotted what he called the darndest thing I've ever seen in the sky. Jimmy Carter, as well as 10 or 12 other people, witnessed the same event. What they saw was no doubt a UFO. By the way, did you know that Hillary Clinton made UFOs a part of her presidential campaign, according to Teen Vogue magazine, March 7th, 2016? Here's the quote. Earlier this year, Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton vowed to get to the bottom of UFO mysteries. And last week, her campaign chairman said Clinton will work to declassify government UFO documents. On July 20th, 2019, NASA's camera feed from the International Space Station were cut off after seeing a strange, glowing object near the station. But what really started the frenzy about the validity of UFOs happened months earlier, when government documents of certain UFOs encountered off the coast of California was leaked. On May 22nd, 2019, the New York Post headline reads like this: "The Pentagon finally admits it investigates UFOs." The article goes on to say multiple Navy pilots said they had spotted strange objects with no visible engines. They were reaching 30,000 feet and going hypersonic speeds. There is something strange in this article, and it's not the speed that these objects reached, but the fact there was no sonic boom at reaching such speeds. When a man-made aircraft breaks through the sound barrier, it naturally creates a boom. The lack of the sonic boom has many questioning if this craft has mass. Mass reaching those speeds has to create a sonic boom. The date was November 14, 2004, and the location was the Pacific Ocean, about 100 miles southwest of San Diego, California. The radar operator from the USS Nimitz picked up 10 unidentified flying objects on its radar. This photograph was taken and leaked from the Navy's sophisticated radar system. It clearly records this unbelievable encounter. This is what former President Obama said when asked about UFOs on The Late Show with James Corden. He said, "What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is there is footage and records of objects in the sky that we don't know exactly what they are." Was President Obama referring to this event? Probably. There is a little problem with this theory of a secret government space program, and it is found strange enough in art. A cave painting that is supposed to be from about 6000 BC was found in the Sahara Desert, shows a being with a possible spacesuit helmet, as well as disc-shaped objects above him. We move forward to 1486, a painting called The Annunciation. You can clearly see a circular object in the sky beaming a light and being received by a woman. In 1538, a tapestry called Summer's Triumph depicted two circular crafts in the sky. In 1710, this painting of the baptism of Jesus clearly shows a saucer-looking object above Jesus. So, what does that prove? One thing all these paintings have in common: all these paintings predate any aircraft known to man. So, if they're not some new secret government weapons program, what are they? That leads us to our second theory. Are these creatures coming from distant planets? Are they aliens? One, if UFOs are from another planet and we have evidence of possible sighting thousands of years ago, why haven't they made contact yet? What are they waiting for? Number two, NASA tracks all potential objects in space to redirect satellites out of harm's way. Why haven't these spacecrafts been tracked or seen out there? Number three, if they are from other planets, why hasn't there ever been a recording of an entrance from outer space? Yes, we've seen them in outer space as well as on our planet, but we have never recorded any entrance into our atmosphere. Number four, why haven't they broken the sound barrier upon entry? It is no secret to the residents in Florida when a space shuttle returns to Earth, the entry creates a boom that rocks homes. Number five, if they are coming from outer space, why haven't they made any sound or transmissions? Our government has spent billions of dollars on technology that can record sounds in outer space, yet we have never picked up any transmissions. Don't you think if they have the ability to travel here, they would have the ability to communicate with their planets? You might say, well, everybody knows these creatures communicate telepathically. At least this is what we've been led to believe. But there's really no evidence of this. At this point, I'd like to introduce to you a man named Dr. J. Allen Hynek. Dr. Hynek acted as a scientific advisor for UFO studies undertaken by the U.S. Air Force under 3 consecutive projects. Project Signs, 1947 to 1949. Project Grudge, 1949 to 1952. And Project Blue Book, 1952 to 1969. After years of studying all the UFO documents the government had, he made this statement: whether they are from outer space or something even more bizarre than that, like visitors from a parallel reality. June 26, 1976, Daily News of Chicago. The question is, are UFOs coming from another planet, or do they come from the spirit world, a realm often referred to as the paranormal? What did Dr. Hynek mean by a parallel reality? He meant that they may be coming from the supernatural realm. Basically, Dr. Hynek did not rule out these creatures could be manifestations of demonic spirits. Now, let us consider the third theory. This theory may not only explain where they come from, but also expose their true mission. Are these manifestations from the supernatural realm? Let us consider these issues. Number 1. Those who have claimed to have been abducted by these creatures often tell of this strange encounter which included sexual misconduct by these aliens. This would be more in the line with demonic spirits than aliens from other planets. In demonology, it is believed that a demon can materialize like a man or a woman to seduce humans. As strange as this may seem, many Bible scholars believe that this was the kind of demonic activity that brought God's judgment by the flood. Number 2, when you conduct the research on the subject of UFOs, you're not directed to the science section of the library, but to the occult section of the library. The research of UFOs leads its seekers into many occult doctrines like there is no God, Mother Nature is a living being. These creatures also teach reincarnation as being true, and you are God are common themes for these mysterious creatures. Interesting enough, these teachings are often referred to as doctrines of demons in the Bible. Number 3, studies show that the rise of the occult comes with the rise of UFO sightings. Remember earlier in this video, we made reference to Foo Fighters and Hitler's involvement with the occult. This is what I was referring to. Hugh Ross, in his book Lights in the Sky and Little Green Men, make these observations. Upon investigation, Dr. Ross consistently found a connection between the occult involvement and the residual UFO encounters. For example, he said countries with high degree of occult activity such as Russia during the Soviet era, France, and certain parts of Brazil also had high percentages of UFO encounters. During Russia's Soviet period, when every expression of religion except the occult activity had been outlawed, he said Russians were seeing UFOs at 5 to 8 times the rate Americans were. It is no secret that the occult now is the 4th largest religion in America, and we are now seeing an increase of encounters with UFOs. The 4th most interesting point is in the way that these creatures make contact. It is called channeling. What they call channeling today, the Bible refers to as possession or dealing with familiar spirits. In 1 Samuel 28, there is a story about a king named Saul who goes to a woman referred to as the witch of Endor. He wants her to contact a prophet of God named Samuel from the dead. This was a practice condemned by God. Leviticus 19:31 gives a strong warning against this practice. Do not defile yourselves by turning to mediums or those who consult the spirit of the dead. I am the Lord your God. It seems that when man cannot communicate with a living God, they try to contact the spirits of the dead. The problem is that these spirits are not the spirits of people who have died, but angels that have fallen. Earlier in this program, we mentioned a former Israeli space security chief who claimed that aliens have already made contact. He said they are called the Galactic Federation. The contact that he's referring to is a creature that is being channeled or contacted through the spirit world, not government channels. The commander of this fleet goes by the name of Commander Ashtar. Ashtar is a very popular entity among those who seek to contact UFO aliens. So, this Israeli space security chief is not referring to contacts made by the government officials, but by an occult practitioner. A quick search of Ashtar and the Galactic Federation may be the key that reveals the real entity behind these reports and the real objective of this soon-coming alien invasion. By simply adding OTH to the name Ashtar, we find a biblical deity named Ashtaroth, which is mentioned numerous times as a deity in the Old Testament that led the children of Israel into pagan worship. There are some who believe that Ashtaroth may be a reference to the chief demon named Lucifer. Now that we have identified the spirit behind this global movement, what could he be setting the world up to believe? Let's take a look at a book called Project World Evacuation, UFOs to Assist in the Great Exodus of Human Souls Off This Planet, written by Thelma Terrell. This book was dictated by the method of channeling the spirit claiming to be Commander Ashtar, sent to save the planet Earth. My first observation I get from this book is that Mother Earth is a living being. The theological term for this is pantheism. This is a belief that there's not a singular deity named God, but that all creation is God. Nature worship is the foundation of witchcraft. A key statement of faith for Wiccans is, nature is my religion, earth is my temple. Strangely enough, the reference to the God of this earth belongs to an Old Testament deity named Baal. He was the god of the climate. He controlled the rain, the dew, the heat, the warmth, and other essentials for a good harvest. He and Ashtaroth are seen together a number of times in the Bible. The combination of these two deities led the worship of Mother Earth and climate worship to the children of Israel. With that in mind, let's examine what Ashtar reveals to Thelma. The mother is desperately fighting for her life. Many of her vortexes have been drained. She is in critical condition at this time and must turn her thoughts to herself if she is to survive. That is why you see the many crises in the world. What people do not understand is that this extreme environmental movement is not a social political movement. It is a religious movement. As we read deeper in this message given by the spirit named Ashtar, we may discover the real purpose of these so-called aliens. Many of these beings are leaving this planet at this time, have completed that which they came to do. It is a time of great rejoicing for them. Do not feel sad about their leaving. They're going home. Many are waiting to be with them again. Many beings must move on, for their thought patterns are of the past. They hold on to these thoughts that keep Earth held back. From these statements, we learn two things. A, many people will be removed from this planet to save the planet. This is not about God removing people from this planet as mentioned in the Bible before his judgment falls. Environmental theology has to be established in order for people to believe this reason for the Great Exodus. B, the people that are being removed are those who disagree with the concept of the deity of Mother Earth instead of the belief in Father God. As we read farther, other interesting observations are made. Our rescue ships will be able to come in close enough in the twinkling of an eye to set the lifting beams into operation in a moment. And all over the globe, where events warrant it, this will be the method of evacuation. Did you know that the phrase "in the twinkling of an eye" refers to an event in the Bible called the rapture of the church? This event takes place before what we call the 7-year tribulation period, a time of judgment from God. Ashtar continues to explain the reason for millions disappearing. There's much happening on your planet at this time. The mother is cleansing, is all that she knows to do at this time, to clear herself of the pollution that exists within her body. According to Ashtar, the alien commander, the reason for the removal of millions of people at that time is to relieve Mother Earth of pollution that is destroying her. Don't doubt me on this. UFOs and extreme environmentalism is closely related. The book continues, but you as light bearers can help your mother to cleanse in such a way that does not destroy all life on this planet. Much of this is necessary. Many of these beings have appointments to leave at this time. Earth's population needs to be decreased. Finally, Ashtar comforts those who are left behind. This spirit has explained it this way. The second phase of the global evacuation are those who have followed the leaders and teachers of light and the children. Did you know that Satan has the ability to transform himself into an angel of light? 2 Corinthians 11:13-14 says this, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." So this alien says being left behind is an honor. He says that now that all the people with bad energy is gone, taking their pollution with them, Mother Earth will recover. The problem is that if the Bible is true, those who are left behind will suffer 7 years of catastrophic events, water turning into blood, demons released to torment those humans on this planet, hailstones, boils all over your body, extreme heat, and not from global warming. These are just a few things that await those left behind. If the Bible event called the rapture does take place, surely there has to be a believable excuse, and UFOs are the perfect alibi. Could this increase of these sightings be setting the stage for the rapture? If so, your time to escape the tribulation period may end at any moment.